What's going on, people? It's Mr. Dole back again with another Nottingham Forest podcast. I hope everyone's fit and well. And yes, discussions time. Like I said, as you know, Nottingham Forest will beat Liverpool on Saturday. We've got Arsenal on Sunday, so there's a lot to talk about on this show. If you want to get involved, people, get your questions in, comments in, and we'll get you involved. If you are new to a channel, please do hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and actually comment below, people, how you've been feeling today about the result against Liverpool and how you're feeling about the game on Sunday. Right, before we get the panel in, last time I went to Arsenal, it was about 2 or 3 years ago. We lost 5-0, and I did do a vlog about it. So after the show, if you do want to watch the vlog, please do. The link's in the description. Right, let's get the guest in. First of all, we'll start with the man himself, Max. How you feeling, Max?
Yeah, not too bad. Feeling much more optimistic about the season ahead after, I just think, incredible performance. We finally look like a team, so I'm feeling well, Ben. Feeling well.
Good. As you know, Max has got a channel as well. So people, like I said, there's links in the description as well. So if you got free chance, please just do subscribe to Max's channel. Next but not least, we've got Simon. How you doing, Simon?
All good, mate. All good. Yeah, still buzzing from last Saturday.
Who isn't? Who is not buzzing?
Yeah, I know. I keep watching the clips back and just. Did you watch the was it the bench cam? That was amazing.
Well, listen to that. I think that's your favourite bit. Listen to me. I'm taking credit for that. I'm taking credit for that because I went to the club shop and I said, when is the bench bank coming? And just come out of nowhere. So I'm taking full credit for that. Last but not least, we've got overseas Forest fan. He's been on the show before, and we've got the man himself, Chris. How you doing, Chris?
Doing great. Thanks for the call up, Coach. I feel like I'm in your squad, but I appreciate getting the call to be with these first teamers here.
Oh, Dave!
I'm an old guy. I'm flattered to even be in the squad.
But like I said, Chris is from New Jersey, in America. If there's anyone outside the UK in the comments, please put down and we'll look out as well. Before we do talk about, I'm going to go for the comments as well, people. I do, Marks, evening US. Hello to all the panel. How you doing, Sonny? How you doing, Razdat? And thank you, Razdat, for being a member to the channel. And if you do want to be a member to the channel, people, all it costs £2.99 a month. It helps my channel, gets me to go to away vlogs, this podcast as well. So if you do want to be a member, please do. And I have got a member as well. Thank you, Stan. Please do, if you are watching this, Stan, can you message me on either Twitter, Instagram, or email me and say it was you, so I can get on the channel in the future. Next one I got as well. It's going to be Arsenal Forest 3. Bloody hell, what have you been drinking? If that happens, I'll trip myself in the Trent myself. I do Bertus from Canada. How you doing? But yeah, he's from Canada, so he has been on the show before, and I will get you on.
Shaved off his mustache.
How you doing, Daryl? As well, I'm abroad in Derbyshire. Bloody hell, why come from there for? Right. Before, like I said, we can talk about the Liverpool game. Like I said, we beat 1-0. And before I do start, and I know it's been 5 days or 6 days before we play the game, and I get a bit frustrated with Liverpool fans moaning about trying to deflect the game. Like I said, we beat you 1-0, and I think it's Liverpool fans, ex-Liverpool players as well, and especially the social media as well, trying to disrespect. I say it's more disrespect on how Forest won that game. As you know, all Forest have been great, but it's 3 points against a big team. Let me start with you, Max. Like I said, we won 1-0. So how do you feel about the result? And do you feel it's been a bit disrespectful to Forest on how Liverpool have handled the defeat?
In terms of how I feel about the game, after the 4 minutes in, my mate came over. He's a big Forest fan from Dublin, and he was sat with me. After 4 minutes, I turned to him and said, "We look like a completely different side." And I mean, nothing had really happened, but just positionally, the way that we were pressing, the way that we were set up, it just something felt completely different. And so whilst it was still a massive surprise that we won, for the first time, I understood why Kouyaté was playing. I think he justified his starting position for the first time, in my opinion, against Liverpool. I think Yates just proved yet again why he's absolutely paramount to a Premier League Forest side, and I love the fact that he's continuing to prove his doubters wrong. Whilst I'm a big supporter of Brennan Johnson, I think it was a bit of a masterstroke of Cooper to leave him out and to just give him a little bit of, when he came on off the bench, I thought he looked much more threatening. He had the energy that he needed, and finally just playing with a recognised striker. Whilst he missed a couple of chances at Leicester, Taiwo, he's a handful. He's a nuisance, and he scores goals for us. So it finally came together. In terms of the Liverpool response to it, look, if you're any side in the Premier League at the minute, you're going to be a bit frustrated if you lose to Forest, particularly in the run of form that we were in. There's something magic about that fixture, and Forest Liverpool, it's a hugely historic thing. I think that they've got used to winning everything, haven't they? And they don't like it when they lose. With the other stuff around some chants, I didn't hear anything, but equally, it's a sensitive thing that, and I think largely Forest fans are incredibly, supportive with the sort of displays on show, and I think that that the focus needs to be on the positive relationship between Forest and Liverpool fans rather than some of the stuff that I've seen flying about on Twitter from both sides. So look, we got the 3 points. We'll move on.
Before I do, Max, there's a question for you from Mark. Question for Max: what's the 5 things you learned from the Forest and Liverpool game? I didn't see that coming.
Wow. I give you about 8 things then, Mark. Come on. No, I'll get back on it soon. I've been a busy boy recently, but I'll get back on it soon. I'll give you 5 things.
Yeah, people like to. He'll be back on his channel, people. So don't get upset. He's just a busy person. So people, like I said, Max got a YouTube channel. Make sure everyone does subscribe to Max's links in the description. Simon, like I said, it's a fantastic win. How did you feel about that win?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like the atmosphere at the City Ground, obviously, as we've been saying, it's been amazing. But I think that was the first time I felt that it felt like last season again, if that makes sense. It had that feeling of, last season, all of those memories that we had, because the previous games it was sort of missing, especially for the Bournemouth game. I felt the atmosphere was a bit flat, wasn't it? But yeah, that was a massive lift. Like if you look at it, if we had lost that game, we would have been sitting 6 points, starting to look like we're slightly cut adrift down there. So with tough fixtures coming up. So yeah, really happy with the win. To be honest, I wasn't that shocked by it. I know some people predicted that we were going to get smashed. The guy standing next to me was like, how are we not losing 3-0 like after 10 minutes? But like, just because, everyone thought we were going to get smashed, but I
did as well. No, I'm not like, I thought we lose.
Did you?
Yes.
I had a good feeling about it, to be honest. Like, I thought the main thing I think is we've been tight at the back. That's been the biggest difference from the start of the season to now. We've looked tight at the back. If we miss some chances, that's fine. But if we keep letting 3 or 4 goals in, we're not going to win anything for doing that. So, yeah, the group looked really good. I just think it was start of a new chapter really after that game. Before I kept seeing people saying, "Oh, we need Keenan Davis back, we need Jed Spence back." I think no, let's move on. Start of a new chapter. We've got our new heroes that we're going to be building this season. Taiwo, even McKenna at the back, solid. Dean Henderson. These are our new heroes moving forward. So really excited about that. Yeah, it's given me a massive lift for this season. I think that result.
What about you, Chris? All the way from America, New Jersey.
Yeah, it was a breakfast game for me.
What time do you wake up?
Well, I'm an old guy, so I get up at 5 o'clock anyway. So I planned the whole morning around the game. One thing I noticed though, because we were the fanciful team to return to the Premier League. We don't seem to get any Saturday 3 p.m. kickoffs or 10 a.m. for me. Like I like those traditional kickoffs. Instead, it's like Monday night, Sunday. I'd like to see some of the old stuff. But to ask how I felt about the game, when the schedule came out, that was like pretty much the first fixture I looked for was Liverpool. It just reminded me of the old days, and it seemed like the game Sunday was just like going back in a time machine. At least as far as the atmosphere came across on television, I'm sure it was even better in person. Because we think about it, we played Bournemouth, we played Fulham, and those are like championship redos again. This is like the first really legit. Well, I can't say we played Spurs, but like Liverpool's like really, that's a top-notch team to play.
Another question from Mark. This is for you, Chris. Chris, for being outside of you, at least you stand a chance for watching the game live on the weekend.
It's true.
To say. Last year, Max, and people asked about Steve Cook, and he's been criticised because of his age. We've got so many centre backs, but he's proved a point, and he's proved so many Forest fans a lot on the way he performs. I know the game against Brighton, he was fantastic, but to play against a world-class player in Salah, he didn't do too bad. And again, another man of match performance from him, wasn't it, Max?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you put any other centre back in all the games that we've lost in the past few weeks, if you put any other centre back, whether it's Biancone, whether it's Bardet, whether it's Bolly, we lose those games because it's not a one-man problem. And I feel the same. I know that it's not about this, but I feel the same about Jesse Lingard. You know, it's not a one-man problem. The problem is that we've got a whole lot of new players and it's going to take a long time. But for me, Steve Cook is vital to it. He's played in the Premier League. He's got experience. He's incredible in the air. I mean, I would never want to play against Steve Cook. Well, I think there are probably some players in the Premier League that don't mind. But for where we're at the minute, I think you can't really beat that grit and experience, and he's proved it. So, you know, whilst people maybe were justified to an extent right at the beginning of the season thinking, how come we're playing him? Why don't we play one of these new centre-backs that we've signed? You know, I think it shows that Steve Cooper's still got it. You know, he still knows what he's doing, and you need to have a bit of experience to sort of bring together all of these new and quite young players that we've got. So, I'm delighted for him because I think he's a class act. I've met him a couple of times, and he's, you know, just a really lovely bloke. And it's nice to know that we've got that character in the squad still, even though we've, you know, all those players from last season, lots of them have left.
Before I do get Simon, I got my good mate Gunnar Lee. I was on his Arsenal channel yesterday to talk about the game. So big up to the crew, smash the likes. If you can, people do smash the likes. And as well, people like it. I was on his channel yesterday, and it's up now. So if you do want to, please go and watch the stream. Big top guy, top person. And I'm going to see Lee before the game on Sunday. So Lee, thank you for letting me come on. And make sure everyone's go and subscribe to Gunnar Lee, top guy. Simon, like, again, another player. Like I said, I mentioned it on the review show, the game on Sunday. Again, I'm going to mention him, and I praise him a lot. And I might be OTT, but again, Ryan Yates, unsung hero, another great performance from him. Do you think he deserves all the credit that he's getting, or do you think it's a bit over the top?
Well, firstly, I think that him running around with a massive bruise on his face, that's gonna be iconic, isn't it? That image. So yeah, I think I've never slagged off Yates. I think he's a really good player, but I was slightly doubtful if he was going to be up to this level in the Premier League. You know, I think we all had that sort of doubt, but he's showing he's crucial in that role in the midfield there. Yeah, so much energy, just harassing the Liverpool players in the midfield. So yeah, I'm really happy with him. I think just that header at Wolves, you know, if he could just work on his finishing a little bit more, and maybe the one with Alisson, if he just gets it into that corner. But no, you can't fault Yates, can he? You definitely can't fault his work rate. He gives everything on the pitch. It's great to see. It's great that he's captain as well. Perfect guy for that, in my opinion.
Just on Yatesy, just sorry to interrupt. I think what was quite interesting against Liverpool is it seemed that, you know, last season he played at centre back for a few games. He did all right, but he was very much a defensive midfielder who has the energy to go forward. But we saw him play the further ahead of those three who were in the midfield. And I think for Premier League Forest, who have much less possession and need to be a little bit tougher, I thought he actually suited that really well. You know, he drove the press. You know, even just in the first couple of minutes, he's got Curtis Jones on his backside. He's got Harvey Elliott on his backside, and I think that was absolutely crucial in setting the tone for the game. So it's quite interesting to see how he's playing that little bit further forward this season for us.
100%. Chris, like I said, there's been so much pressure and criticised on Tyrell Wadney. Like I said, he's not been doing as much as he can as a striker. We know he's in a different league. The German league it's so different to the English league. But he took his goal well against Liverpool. And do you think this could be the spark that he needed?
I think it can if they give him some games. I think they got to give him a run of five, 6 games in a row, because he's got the poacher's instincts. You know, like you can't coach that. Like how he instinctively had that
Oh, he's gone.
Oh no.
Entirely. I pay my bill. I entirely. I don't think it's been entirely fair. I mean, if you look at like he scored what 3 goals so far?
Yeah, 3. Yeah.
He kind of got slagged for putting one off the post for Leicester, but could have gone in. That would have been a goal and would have been a different result, or not a different result. But I think to answer your question, yeah, I think this could be the beginning of something if he gets the game. And I'd be surprised if he doesn't get the games at this point.
Max, was you surprised with the team that played against Liverpool?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, before that game, I'd never understood Kouyaté. He just looked like he was running in treacle a little bit. Didn't know where he wanted to play him. But obviously, these things take time. And as fans, we can be quite fickle and expect the world quite quickly.
Yeah.
I was surprised that he was playing. I was surprised Mangala didn't start. I think Lewis O'Brien has been unwell, but I don't know what's going on there with Lewis O'Brien because he's looked really promising. And I was surprised with Aurier because I thought I was not impressed in the slightest against Brighton. But not just Aurier. They looked a completely different set individual players in a completely different team against Liverpool. And that's just the magic of the fixture, the time they've had together. And so, I try not to be someone that makes judgments too quickly. I think football fans always have to be willing to change their mind. And Kouyaté changed my mind. Aurier changed my mind. And so, yeah, there were the things that surprised me, but pleasant surprises because we got the 3 points.
100%. Sam, I think I spoke to Max about it, Brennan Johnson. Like, was you surprised that he dropped to the bench and give who was it, Lingard a chance? Or it was Timothy wanted a chance?
Yes, I mean, I wasn't surprised he was dropped, but I was surprised he was dropped for the Liverpool game because I thought, Liverpool with a high line, you want that pace in behind. So I was quite surprised about that. But yeah, I suppose you would play Lingard because obviously he's a United lad, isn't he? So he's going to have that extra drive against Liverpool. That's why I wasn't too shocked with Lingard being in the team. Yeah, but turned out to be a good move, didn't it, from Cooper? And I think that's the lineup I want to see going forward. Maybe that front three, maybe Lingard for Dennis. I think I still want to see Dennis on that left wing. But yeah, I think I would rather see Brennan as an impact sub off the bench, to be honest. I want to see Awoniyi starting up front because it wasn't just his goal; it was his all-round play, wasn't it? Holding up the ball well, giving that focal point, and also just bullying the Liverpool defenders. I think if you had Brennan there, he wouldn't be doing that to Gomez, would he? So, yes, I like Awoniyi anyway, but yeah, if we give him a run of games, as Chris said, I reckon he will deliver because he's got a track record. I mean, how many goals did he score last year? Like 20 goals or 15?
So,
yeah,
16 league and 20 odd plus in the
stuff, yeah. That's top league in Europe, isn't it? So he's got a proven track record of scoring.
I think he was a third top scorer in Germany, but it was Haaland and Lewandowski, and then Awoniyi. Exactly. So people in the comments, what do you think? Like I said, we'll talk about the Arsenal game later on. So do you think Awoniyi should get a chance against Arsenal? In the comments, what do you think? Yes or no? Chris, like I said, there's so much pressure on him, like especially with him getting a contract. The games against I'm not going to mention Wolves because it was a terrible.
Abject,
yeah. But the points against Aston Villa, Brighton, and then we moved on to Liverpool. This, I think it's 5 points now. We've had. It's a stepping stone now because we've got a massive game on Sunday against Arsenal. But now this is a big confidence boost to play against Arsenal, isn't it?
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, the way I kind of look at it, we were in free fall, I guess, by the time of the Leicester game. I felt like if we were an airplane, we were going down. I mean, it was dire. The fans were on the ledge, and over the next few games, we started to string some results. We didn't lose. We kept some clean sheets. We only gave up a penalty, and we gave up a goal by who's the guy from Villa who scored? Ashley Young.
Ashley Young.
Yeah, Ashley Young. Yeah. So like this most recent result to me was like the culmination of we've righted the ship, and hopefully we can. The guys are going to draw a lot of confidence as they have been doing, and they'll draw more confidence from this result. And whether we get a result, we'll get something out of the game on Sunday, it remains to be seen. But I really just think that Cooper is starting to get a handle on this mess of players he was just were thrown at him, and he's like a professor in the laboratory now, tinkering around. We're starting to see the first signs of cohesion. There was actually shape, and everybody seemed to be almost on the same page on Sunday.
Before I do, say let's come to Max. I've got a comment from Kwan. Dor, what have you said on Lisa where you win? You must have shaved on the stand. I don't know. It might have been that, but yeah, I think I had a little trim. So I thought, actually, I'm going to London. But yeah, it is what it is. Thanks for the comment. I will shave every time we do lose. Max, like I said, Cooper, like I said, he's got so many players. As we know, going forward, like I said, I'll mention the Arsenal game. Do you think the team that we played against Liverpool, do you think we should stick to the same team, or we know our Arsenal players are like be more defensive wise? Because like I said, we going forward, I think we're not too bad, but Arsenal is going to be a difficult fish to Liverpool, isn't it?
Yeah, completely. I think he needs to keep the same shape because that's what he's stuck with at the back through the worst period of our season, and he's started to, like Chris has said, accumulate some points, conceding a lot less, and then we got 3 big points against Liverpool. For me, there's a few key players. Obviously, it's a spine really, but you've got Henderson, Steve Cook, and McKenna at the back who've just been solid. Ryan Yates and Taiwo. And I saw that lots of people, including my girlfriend, are coming up in the comments saying start Taiwo. And if she says it,
who's your girlfriend?
Abby Osborne. She loves the channel, Ben.
Shout out to Abby. Shout out to Abby.
Yeah. So, but I couldn't agree. I couldn't agree more. I think and Simon sort of said this, but Taiwo gives us 4 or 5 extra seconds. When Dean Henderson lumps the ball from his 50 pence foot and it'll go anywhere. If as hard as Morgan Gibbs White tries, he's not an aerial threat. Cheers, Abs. And but Taiwo will get on the end of it. It'll be a nuisance, and by being a nuisance, then you've got time for Yates and everyone to get up, and then there's a press, and then you can win the second ball. So for me, Taiwo's absolutely instrumental to a Forest side that can get points in this league, and I do think that he's done enough now, surely, to start against Arsenal, because that's going to be a game where we see very little of the ball, and we're going to need to take those opportunities that really. Taiwo's all we've got. You could say Surridge is much better in the air than he looks and he puts himself about, but Taiwo for me is just a step above. He's got to be in there. But I think he'll keep the same shape in answer to your question, Ben.
Yeah, 100%. Before I do get Simon, I got a super chat from Spesh. Thank you. Hi, guys. Brilliant fullbacks all around, and Yates deserves his man of the match. But did you see the stats on Firmino? He ran about 14k.
Oh, so you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Right. So I forgot about him, and this what I think. When he first came to Forest, like I said, I didn't know much about him. And then I think I watched the game against, when he played for Switzerland, he scored a goal. And I spoke to a Atlanta fan. And when he played that formation, I think it was a 3-4-1-2. When he plays in the 2, he doesn't do much. But when he plays in the 3, he gets into the team more. And the game against, I think we lost to Wolves. I think we lost. We lost 1-0. I thought he was playing fantastic. And then we played against Brighton. He was getting better. But that game against Liverpool, basically that's the question I'm trying to say. But Ryan Yates plays so much better, goes up when he's next to Firmino. Whoever, if we play the Carte, Mangala, O'Brien, one of the two, it's always O'Brien and Firmino. So Simon, Firmino, he's been given so much praise. Do you think he's like we mentioned Cook and Max mentioned Cook is a start on the sheet. Do you think Firmino is a person that is a start for Forest in the future now?
Yeah. So when Max was saying the backbone of the squad, I was thinking you've missed out Freuler here. He's a must starter for me. As you said, he looked awful in the 2 when he played with Yates, didn't he? But in a 3, he looked just really, really good, really tidy, really solid. I mean, that guy's got pedigree, hasn't he? He captained Atalanta Champions League team.
Yeah.
He plays for Switzerland, scored against Spain. So
that's it. That's what it was. Yeah, Spain.
Yeah, Spain, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yes,
I can see him starting every game. I think Cooper loves him as well. I saw some comments I don't know. We might have been on this channel when I was watching this channel, but I think somebody said that wasn't it Cooper? Cooper made some comment like this lad can play, like something like that. So yeah, you can see he's no nonsense. He just gets on with it. I love that photo of him as well after the Liverpool game. He was on his knees, like just celebrating. Those are the type of things I love to see. These new players, you don't know if their heart's in it. Like, because obviously, if you just sign for Forest, like, but those type of pictures prove to me that they're invested. They love the club, and I think he's going to start every game for us, to be honest, if he's fit. And then we'll just change Yates and Mangala around, or Kouyaté and Mangala around.
100%. There's 26 minutes gone. If you are new to our channel, please do hit the like button, subscribe if you know. I'm on my way to 9K, so massive favor. It's free. Please do hit the subscribe button. Chris, like I said, let's talk about Arsenal now. Massive game. They lost 2-0 in the Europa Cup against PSV, but that means nothing.
They had a strong team out as well.
Yeah, I know they had a strong team as well, but it means nothing. On league form, the top of the league for a reason. I know they're drawn 1-1 against Southampton, but this is a big test. But at the same time, that win against Liverpool gives a bit of a confidence boost. What's your feelings from the game on Sunday? And people in the comments as well, how are you feeling about this Arsenal game? Because I've got my thoughts about it. And tomorrow I'm doing a show with Curtis Shaw at 9 o'clock as well with Kevin Campbell, if Kevin comes back from working time. So, Chris, what's your thoughts as well from this game on Sunday?
I would be disappointed if we don't give a good accounting of ourselves. I don't expect to see us like ransacked like we were at Manchester City. I expect this trend to continue. Whether it will materialize into getting something out of the game, I'm not sure. But I'll be disappointed if we're not continuing this improving trend, because I think as the team takes shape, you're starting to see that these players we have brought in, there's a lot of talent there, and it hasn't really manifested itself until just recently. Like Freuler, the guy has pedigree, and you're starting to see it now, and so on and so on. And I think as Cooper gets more and more time to work with this team, you're going to see that the talent come to the fore, and we'll start to see results. But then again, Arsenal is the top of the league, so it's going to be hard to say. I just had one additional question about Arsenal for you, Mr. Dore. Did you ever go to a game at the old Highbury, or was that before your time?
No, I never been to Highbury. I went before I went to Emirates. I did go visit the ground, but no, I've never been to it before. So I know we had some good memories there as well. My guy Kevin Campbell, he always mentions it when he scored, and he scored his debut against Arsenal as well.
Oh, really?
People remember it. Yeah, it was 1-1. I think it was 94. I think as well. And I don't know if people remember. I think that day we got promoted. I don't know if you lot can remember the age. I know Chris will remember. Max, we remember the 97-98 season. What about you, Simon?
That's when I was born.
Was you born?
That was my first. I was born in '93, so my first game was the season we got relegated from the Premier League. Yeah.
Geez.
Oh, so you can remember then? I remember that. People in the comments as well get involved. Can you remember that Jeff Thomas goal? He went past three or four players, and he scored a really good goal against that team that was unbeaten that season. I think it was, I don't know what season before. But people in the comments, can you remember that Jeff Thomas goal? Great goal as well. Answer your question, because I've never been to Highbury. I went, like I said, I think the outside building's still there. If people remember, it's like Forest lost 5-0. I can't remember that game. But yeah, it was. We've had some memories at Highbury, I think. But I don't know if we ever won. I don't know.
We won famously in the FA Cup in '88. You can look it up on the YouTube.
I will look it up. Like I said, I was born '84, so I can't remember that game at all. Max, as I said, it's a big game. It's a massive game for us. Like I said, it's confidence boost as well. So, but like I said, it's going to be so different because Arsenal are on form. People say Liverpool was poor. Yes, there was. But it is a massive game. But it'd be more confidence from the other games, won't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think Chris has just hit the nail on the head. I think my main. I mean, I'm hesitant to say this. My main concern isn't necessarily about getting anything out of the game. It's about continuing. It's about looking like a side that's improving, and then points will come from that. you can only get points if you deserve them, really. And I think what I just want to see is a solid performance where they look like a side, they press well, they create chances. And I do think, despite what we've gone through, we've still got enough talent on the pitch to score goals in this league. And so I guess my main hope is that we don't lose 4-0 and we don't sort of feel like we're going back to square one and that Liverpool game was a flash in the pan. I do think we can get something out of it. It's a game of football at the end of the day. And, you know, we've shown against Liverpool how, you know, unpredictable football can be. But I'm more concerned about the performance we put in. And if we put in a performance like we did against Liverpool, then we might get something from it. But on another day, Liverpool could have beaten us from just those set pieces in the second half alone, and they didn't because luck was on our side. So I think what Chris said, basically, let's have a solid performance and look like we're continuing to grow.
100%. Before I get to Sam, I'm looking for the comments as well. This will show that Fernando is important. If we go to 4-2-3-1 down the line, if Mangala will rock as a two, I just don't think it works. I don't think that two midfield works. Like if me personally, if Fuller plays better in a 3, in a 2, I just don't think it works. But that's my opinion. People in the comments, do you agree, disagree with what I say? Get involved. This is from Nathan Gunter, my good friend from St. Anne's. Well played against Liverpool. We deserved the L. Played poor. Result a different story. I'm for though. Yo, listen to me, Nathan. You lost. You took the massive L. You did reply to my message. Thank you. Just respond. Just take it as it is. But shout out to Nathan for that. That's Dad. So guys, would you start the same 11 that beat Liverpool on Sunday? Simon, would you stick with the same team? I think we spoke about it, but what would you say, Si?
Just in regards to that, I think I'll probably bring Lodi back in for Williams on the left. Again, quality player that we've probably forgotten about.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. I don't know.
I mean, Champions League player, Brazilian international, Nico Williams playing out of position. I know he looked good on Saturday. Yeah, to be fair, he looked good on Saturday on the left there. But I would, for me personally, because now Lodi's back fit, I would probably bring Lodi back in. Just my personal.
He did look up for it when he came on, didn't he?
Yeah.
I thought that looked good.
We need all the quality we can get on Sunday if we can get anything out of the game.
So basically, like you're saying, like you want a balanced team, basically, because he's left-footed. And to be fair to Nico Williams, like I said, he did play. I think it was a 60-minute mark. He played against Arsenal, against Liverpool. And I thought he played well, but got a fair comment. Like I said, if you want to be balanced against a good, strong Arsenal front 3, then
because don't forget Salah's left-footed, isn't he? So it suited Williams that game.
Yeah,
Salah wants to cut in a lot, and then Williams is right-footed. So I think that was a perfect game for Nico, and also he was up for it because of Liverpool. But yeah, I would bring Lodi back in.
100%. I'm going through the comments again. I saw some people. I spoke about Highbury. Highbury was some ground. Reminds me of the Ibrox, Craig Cottage, and Villa Park. Great grounds. Craig Cottage and Villa Park, great ground. I've never been to Ibrox before, but Craig Cottage is one of the best grounds I've been to since being a Forest fan. For Tree, you can't drop Yates. He's flawless. I agree, 100%. From Bertus, same 11. Why not? Well, everyone's got a different opinion about this. Mid-table is where we're in back of achievement, bottom of the championship, and building to a beautiful future. 100%. Stan, can you message me on Twitter or Instagram for being a member as well, please? So thanks, Stan. As well, with this one, I think this is your Abby. This time last year, Newcastle were 6 points after 12 games, and we still can do it. I think we can, Abby. We can do it. And shout out to Abby. Abby.
I think she's bang. If I don't say so myself, she's bang on. Like I'd completely written off Newcastle. Completely written them off. Everyone had done. Even when Eddie Howe came in. Don't get me wrong. I don't think we're going to accumulate as many points as they did, but we've got a long, long way to go, and we've got an absolutely fabulous manager. So, I'm still positive.
Max, are you saying that? So you're in Abby's good books.
I'm always in a good book.
Oh, dude. One from D Chapo. Montella on the left against Lodgy or Williams. I don't know. me personally, I'll stick with the same team that won. That's me
Yeah,
personally.
I like
If you win, that's how it is. But like I said,
It won't be Martinelli, will it? It'll be Saka, won't it?
Saka will be on the right hand side. Yeah,
On
so
the right,
it's I think they change all the time because, like I said, their front three are good. That's why the top of the league. There's 36 minutes gone. People, if you've got any questions to ask from me, Max, and Chris and Simon, please do. Max has got a YouTube channel. It's linked in the description. Chris is from America. And Simon, where are you from, Simon?
Well, originally Nottingham, but I'm living in Bristol now.
Oh, Bristol. Oh, wait, you know when you say Bristol, it brings back good memories.
I know.
Yeah.
I came straight from work for that game. Straight from work.
Oh, really good memories. People not saw the vlog. And as well, Lau Taylor, he messaged me the other day and he watched it and I thought, what? Yeah, and he said he's never saw the vlog. The first time he saw the vlog. So shout out to Lau Taylor for that.
Is Bristol the furthest outpost that we traveled to in the championship?
Swansea's further.
Swansea further.
Swansea and Cardiff, I think it was. But yeah, we'll talk about. Like I said, we'll ask you, Max. Like I said, Steve Cooper's been he changed the formation to 4-3-3. I think, like I said, he had to because the formation wasn't working. And today he's not. He feels uncomfortable with his formation, but it is working as it is. But we know the Wolves game, it didn't work. But what's your thoughts? Are you happy with the 4-3-3, or do you think the 4-3-2-1 might be works?
I'm happy with the 4-3-3 as it looked on Saturday, and obviously that's easy to say in hindsight. But like I say, we did look. I don't think the formation's the issue. I think that he will go back to 3 at the back when Niakate is properly fit, because he's really the only centre back with a yard of pace on him. Who can sort of guard that, and right. For that ball over the top against Ed, when Pickford put that fantastic ball through to whoever scored against us when we played Everton. What was it? Demarai Gray? Was it
Demarai Gray? Yeah.
Niakate tracks back at ease and clears the ball, or tracks Demarai Gray. And so I think if we've got more points on the board and we're looking a little bit safer, then when he's fit, I think he would move back to that, because that formation allows him to play the brand of football that he wants to play. And even Steve Cooper, after the game, he's delighted at the win, and I do like this mentality, and Yates was the same. They're still not happy because the overall league position is not good. And so I do think that Steve Cooper is a man of value in principle, and he has this particular philosophy, but he's realistic enough to change it to a 4-3-3. And so, in answer to your question, I'm happy with the 4-3-3. I agree with you, Ben, that Freuler works much better if he's got 2 midfielders around him, because I think he reads the game so well. He's constantly looking. He's always on the half turn, and he tucks in to a centre back position to cover a lot. And so, if you've only got Freuler and then one person in front of him, that midfield becomes overrun. So I'm happy with the 4-3-3, but I do think that if we can sort of solidify and get ourselves out of the bottom 3, then he might experiment back to what he's used to.
Yeah, but quick question on that, Max. Who would you take out if you bring Niakate in the back 3? Because you're going to have to take one of those midfielders out, and then the midfield just goes back to problems again, and then Freuler can't play, and then
people to comment. What do you think? What do you think? Comments, get involved. Go on, Simon. Carry on.
I really don't like the back 3. No one else plays in the Premier League, do they? Apart from Conte.
I think they do, to be fair.
It's very rare. I think it's very rare. I think it's
Chelsea play it.
Chelsea play it. Chelsea Spurs. That's about it, isn't it? Brighton
Chelsea Spurs. Arsenal don't. No, I think just Chelsea and Spurs play it.
Yeah. So
people in the comments, what do I don't know if they do or not. Brighton do. Brighton play it
sometimes.
No, the play
it's a really good question, Simon, and and then I'm sort of running the risk of contradicting myself. But I think if we're playing in a way that means we're at the bottom 3 and we're accumulating points, so we look more dangerous, you utilise the wing backs much better going forward. And so if you can play that back 3 in an effective way and in a cohesive way, Nico Williams and, let's say, Renan Lodi become much more influential going forward. And, previously at the start of the season, they weren't doing much going forward because we weren't playing it right. I'm not necessarily saying I would do that. I just think Steve Cooper will do that because of his brand the brand of
Yeah.
football he wants to play. But you're right. You know, it's a brave thing to do in the Premier League.
I just worry we get overrun in the midfield like we were when we were playing the back three. That's the biggest problem, I think.
Yeah. No, I think I said what I said. Like when we played the two formation, I think the game against Aston Villa. I think we did. No, not Aston Villa. I think game we're talking about now. We played the two. I'm full on Yates playing that. Well, it was Fulham.
Yeah.
I thought it just didn't work because again overran. And Fuller went off after 16 minutes. I thought taking him off and and when I mentioned the game against Switzerland, and I said I didn't know look about him. I thought, why don't we play that formation? And with now Kuba's watched him more, and now look what we're getting out of him. His experience, he knows that role so well. He's bringing out the best out of Ryan Yates as well. Nekati as well. He played fantastic against Liverpool. The game against Wolves is a bit iffy, but these players are getting used to each other day by day. So it will get right. We are bottom of the league for a reason, but it will take time. And we're on 9 points with Leeds and who's the other side? Leeds and Wolves as well. So it will take time. Chris, I mentioned, like I said, with Mo Gibbs-White, Jesse Lingard, they're playing as a winger. Like we said, we'll stick with the same team, but they need. I think their roles they're playing with Jesse Lingard, his experience in the Premier League. Are you expecting more from these two against Arsenal?
I'm not sure we've seen the best of Lingard yet. I think he's working. I was interested. I've mostly heard good comments about Lingard's performance on Sunday. Matt, on your is it Matt, the artist?
Matt. Yeah.
He was really down on Lingard. I respect his opinion. I was wondering what did you guys think of Lingard's performance on Sunday?
I thought it was all right. Very good work rate. Just the end product is still missing at the moment, isn't it? That shot he had. If he was playing for West Ham, he was burying that in the top corner. So
I think it'll take time. I think with Lingard, it'll take time. Like I said, he's not been playing. He's been in and out of the team. I think he just needs that goal. And if he scores against Arsenal and does the moonwalk again at the Emirates Stadium, I think I'll be buzzing because I've been talking out to my Arsenal mates. If he just score and does the moonwalk, who's not be happy? But what about you, Max? Do you think Jesse needs to do more? But I know he's not. Like I said, he's been in and out of the team. But this is his chance against a team that he loves scoring against Emirates as well.
I think it's easy to pick Jesse Lingard as the scapegoat.
Yeah.
No one in this side for a long time, for the past 6-7 games, other than Liverpool, has really been standout. Other than I'd say Ryan Yates, just in terms of his effort and his sheer, and yards that he puts in. So I think Lingard gets a bit of a tough ride from some fans, and that's understandable because of his his pay and his TikTok and all that, and lots of people don't like that.
Yeah.
But I think on Sunday, positionally was absolutely fantastic. You could not fault his work rate. Even in the Leicester game, people are welcome to disagree with me, but I was sat in the Leicester end on the left-hand side in the first half. I couldn't get to
why did you wave, Max? You couldn't wave.
No, it was awful. But in that game, yes, I think you're absolutely right. His end product needs a bit more work. But his work rate was he was on it. And I think you could see it. After he came off, just him sat on the bench. He wants it. He's clearly a bit like you were talking about the picture of Freud at the end of the game. I think that Lingard, you can tell he wants to do well, but equally, whilst his final ball isn't necessarily there, I do think that he plays really good passes into Taiwo in those tight spaces. That maybe other players have lacked. So I think we need to give him time. And wouldn't it be great if he just, hit a purple patch of form starting on Sunday? And I think that he can. Chris, I'm just interested from your perspective, what's the coverage like around Jesse Lingard? Because, the press, people like TalkSport and stuff over here love Lingard bashing. And I just wonder from, overseas, is it slightly different or are they quite critical of Lingard?
Well, I consume mostly UK news, so the American coverage isn't really very comprehensive, and I don't listen to TalkSport. Is it?
Talk
Yeah.
Because I just find them to be they're just like looking to generate outrage and clicks
Absolutely,
and
yeah.
stuff. And I'm very selective of my Forest sources of information. Obviously, the tour is number one. And I have a couple other trusted sources.
Yeah.
One thing going back to Lingard, I thought was interesting. You were saying his work rate that wasn't really apparent. It's not really apparent on TV because the camera is tracking the ball, so you don't always see what's happening off the ball. And so that's interesting to hear that he's seems to be fully committed. So I wasn't meaning to criticize him myself because
No, I didn't think you were. No, I didn't think you were, Chris. But I guess that's something that I've just noticed is that he can become a little bit of a scapegoat, and I sort of get it. And he's not by any stretch of the imagination set the world alight yet.
Right.
But I do think his head's in the right place. That's what I'd say.
Yeah.
Before I talk to Simon, and I think where's the comment from? Where is it? Where are you? I'm doing a live stream. That cheered me up because I feel in the said, Eve, I know you moved house, Eve. All I do is smile. Remember, I spoke to you Saturday Eve before the game. Just remember what I said. Move on. Better things will come forward. So keep smiling. I hope you're enjoying the stream, Eve. This is Axel. I think he's from from Argentina. Shout out to Axel. Forest outright. Knuti was brilliant. He made it take back everything I said. As like I said, I could sell Knuti as well, but Saturday's game, I think he was fantastic because against Liverpool. Listen, I don't talk sport is crap, and pundits are always sprue crap. Yeah, but that's what they've got to do to make us watch it. That's the problem. They say things about Forest or whoever they say about, and we watch it and we talk about it. The thing about TalkSport, if you don't watch it, just don't listen to him, because that's what they'll put the 30-second clip and they'll say something negative about Forest. Don't watch it. I watch it because they're talking about my club. So if they talk negative, positive, here's what it is. So people, if you don't want to watch it, like Chris says, he doesn't watch it. Simple as that. I'm saying that this panel. I started the season. I said where do you think Forest will finish? We are rock bottom for a reason. Well, things have changed at the club, and people in the comments, if you do remember what I said, where do you think Forest will finish? I will say my opinion on at the end of the show where I think Forest will finish. Max, has your opinion changed from the start of the season?
I said lucky 13 at the start of the season. I think that's maybe a little bit optimistic at the minute. But anything's possible with Steve Cooper and Forest. I would say we're going to finish 15th, 16th. No. Okay. How many teams are in the league? There's 18 in the league, isn't there? We're not finishing 16th. No.
20.
15.
20.
Oh, there's 15. A
20.
20. All right.
Don't say 30th, because I said 30th in the BT Sport people. So I didn't mean to say 30th. We just talk sport. You know what talk sport's like. They like to set me up. So yeah.
I think we can stay up. I still think we can stay up. That's what I'll say. Yeah.
Simon, do you think Forest can stay up?
Well, I'll just go for 17th. So that's the safe spot. First non-relegation spot. So I'll just go for that. if we keep these, we've got very good players, and the thing is, all these people going on about we bought so many players, spent all this money. Yeah, but if you look at our squad depth, we've got a lot of squad depth. Look at all the injuries we've had. Like, if we didn't bring all these players, we'll be down to the reserves now. So yeah, I reckon we've got a deep squad. If we've got a few injuries, that's okay. If the Wolves have a few injuries, maybe they'll fall off. And Bournemouth, their keeper's now out for the rest of the season. So
is there
teams like that? Yeah, I think so. Neto, yeah.
Oh, okay. Never knew that.
So I reckon they'll start dropping off soon. Bournemouth. So
Solanke got injured as well during that game, didn't he?
Right. I don't know how bad that is, but yeah. So don't just look at the few teams above us. There's a whole. I think basically that bottom half is going to be in the relegation scrap, I reckon. So yeah, I feel good. I think we've got decent enough players to get over the line. I think. Just give me 17th.
I'll take 17th. Who wouldn't take 17th? I will take it. Chris, what about you, Chris?
I don't know. It's a goddamn emotional roller coaster. Following this club, like the thrill of victory. Go from promotion, and then just all summer we were just drunk on that, and then like the harsh reality of being in the Premier League. Somewhat promising start. Then we went free fall. Now we've all on this our little group here. We've convinced ourselves we've turned the corner. I hope we're right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have faith in Cooper. I think he's a miracle worker. I think if he keeps this up, that'll be as big an accomplishment as getting us promoted last year. And I gotta have faith. So I think we'll find a way. I think it's going to be a scrap right to the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is going to be a scrap. Like I said, we are bottom of the league, but like I said, there's Wolves, Leeds, and a few other teams below us. It's going to be like from 12th or 10th from below. We're going to be in it. So whatever happens, like I said, it's going to be more downs than ups. Last season we'll never forget, but this season, let's be realistic. It's going to be a hard, long season. So let's just keep the faith. Well, this January is not too long. There's been some gossip that Forest is going to spend another 100 million. I don't believe it one bit at all. I just don't think it's going to happen. Max, I know we brought 24 players in, and I know we can talk about it forever, but really, Max, do we need to spend another 100 million or bring in another whatever X, Y, Z players?
Absolutely not. No. And Football Insider are, I wouldn't trust them as far as I can throw them, and I can't throw them because they're an online publication. So there you go. They're honestly, just in terms of standards of journey, it's all conjecture, clickbait, and their writers will get paid for every click, and so just absolutely not. And I think Marinakis isn't going to spend another 100 million quid because I don't know if he can afford it, and I think he's put a sort of marker in the sand a little bit by not sacking Cooper, by keeping Murphy, even though I think the relationship there is a little bit strained. So he shouldn't, and I do not think he will whatsoever. Would I be surprised if maybe he bought another striker, let's say, or but if we had an injury to Dean Henderson, then maybe. But I think that's absolute nonsense and irresponsible of whoever's running that.
I saw it as well. Forest fans, it's not going to happen. Let's be real. Like I said, we are bottom of the league, but he's not going to spend 100 million on nonsense. It's not going to happen. So please, Forest fans, don't take it. There is from now to the transfer window. There are always going to be players going to be linked with. I know players like I think it's Scarpa. He's coming in January. Yeah. Scarpa, he's coming in January. I've not saw him play. So I might have to get if it's any. What team does he play for?
Palmeiras, is it what it's called?
Palmeiras. If there's any Palmeiras fans out there, I'm see if I do get a Palmeiras fan, see how he is because I've not seen him.
He's doing well, apparently. He's doing
well.
For Brazilian leagues, it's a bit different to Premier League, isn't it?
Yeah, if there's any Palmeiras fans watching this or who's going to watch this, please, if there's anyone out there, get in touch with me because it'd be nice to know. Right, score predictions time. I know it's a bit early. I'm not going to say my prediction. People comments. What do you feel?
So you're gonna make us come up with a score prediction, but you won't give one yourself.
Chris, Max, you know the rules, man. I don't do it till what time? What time kick off on Sunday? 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock kick off.
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock. Yeah. I'm not gonna say it till 1 o'clock. So I'm not. It's early days. You don't have to stick with the prediction, Max. Don't stick with it. Just how you feel. Okay. Just how you feel. So people in the comments, how you feel. What the prediction is for Sunday's game. And you know what? I tell you, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say mine. I'll be the last one because I did say it on Good and Lee's channel what my prediction was. So I'll stick with. Let me go with. Chris has gone because much of his Wi-Fi has gone off again. He'll be back on in a minute. Max, at this moment in time, what's your prediction? Shout out to Simon's missus.
It's just video bombed. Hey, come say hi.
The whole world.
No.
I got her into being a Forest fan like last season.
Okay. So what's your score prediction, Max? For now, be real. Be honest.
I'm going to say 2-1 Arsenal.
Okay. All right.
I feel so bad doing that. I feel so awful.
Don't worry about it.
But I'm going to say 2-1 Arsenal on a good day, 1-1.
Right. I seen Mark's chat response. Dor, you always said you were going to leave channel. I did. Because of what I said,
that
right?
Makes me feel better.
Yeah, what I said, right? Because the way Arsenal play, it's so different to the way Liverpool play. They're on form, they're at home, and they're a good side. So this is, I said right now, he's gone again. Right now, I've said Arsenal win 4-1. This is what I said, 4-1. But I said I hope I'm wrong. Okay.
Well, that goes without saying, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So I did say, like I said 4-1 to Arsenal. Forest fans, don't shoot me. I've got to put in context how they're playing. Like I said, lost today. The drawn against Southampton 1-1, but they're fantastic at home. But I hope I'm wrong. Simon, what's yours?
Well, you just said it there. Like they've had 2 bad results in the last 2 games, but they've both been away. So we're going to the Emirates, and it's going to be tough. I think if we're at the City ground, I'll be confident. To be honest,
Yeah.
I'll be confident. But going to the Emirates is a whole different story. Last time we went there, we lost 5-0. So I wouldn't want to predict against Forest, to be honest. So I'll just go for.
It's hard, isn't it?
It's hard. We can't go and say, "Oh, Forest going to win 3-0, 4-0." We can't do that.
Yeah, but you just go for the. Just go for the 1-1.
Yeah,
just go for the 1-1. We're holding off, get a lucky goal or something. Harrow gets one off. I don't know, off his chest or something, and then
What was it, Simon? 3-1, you said.
No, I said go for a 1-1. Like hold out, and then get a lucky
I'll take
goal.
that. I'll take the 1-1. I'm not gonna lie, but I just don't see it happening.
But yeah, it could easily be a 3-0, couldn't it? Or even worse.
So, Voice fans, don't shoot me, please. I said it was just that moment at time. I just said the way Arsenal are playing, because now they're lost. It fills me a little bit more confident on how they are played. So it is what it is. Last but not least, Chris, what's your score prediction?
The immortal words of David Coleman: 1-0 Forest.
Bloody hell.
Going out on a limb.
What?
Yeah, I like it.
We're gonna.
Chris, have you been
Can't
drinking?
see
Chris? I can't see it. Forest fans, Arsenal fans, degree, Chris, I can't see it. But I hope I'm wrong. I was wrong against Liverpool. We won Liverpool. But this is why I said to Lee, I don't do my score prediction from an hour before the game. And he was pressuring me. So Lee, don't pressure me again, Lee, because I said the wrong result, 4-1.
Chris, who's your goal scorer, Chris, in a 1-0 win? I'm going to put a 50p bet on.
Gibbs White is going to break through.
Ooh, okay. I like it.
That's special. That's my special call.
I'm clipping this. I'm clipping this on Twitter. if Chris is right, listen to me. I'll throw myself on the trend. Well,
I mean that guy's due a goal, isn't he? Gibbs White. He's
absolutely
due a goal.
Oh, dude.
You heard
it is what it is. But yeah, people, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for Max, Simon, and Chris. It's been a pleasure.
Nice meeting you guys.
And as well, Max has got a YouTube channel as well. Max, do a little plug for your channel before we leave.
I've not done it for a month or so now. I've been a busy boy, but it's all about Forest. You can read me in the programme as well. So check that out for home games, and just subscribe if you fancy it.
If you fancy, just do massive. Just always click the button. All you do is click the button as well. Like Max has been doing some work as well for talking about Forest as well. What is it, Max? You do again? Tell everyone.
So I'm a correspondent for an online sports media company called Breaking the Lines. They're on Twitter, and I'm going to be doing some World Cup coverage for them as well, which is really exciting. So check that out on Twitter, and there's some really good sort of Premier League and European stuff on there as well. So I'm lucky enough to be able to get some opportunities to do some journalism and stuff. So
good deal.
Okay. Like I said, people go and check that out as well. Like I said, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for Chris, Simon, and Max.
Thank you, Dora.
Appreciate coming on. Tomorrow it's a big day. Like I said, I've got Mr. Curtis Shaw on my channel as well. I've got the man himself, Kevin Cabell, as well. If he turns up late, I'll give him a little slap, because he's played for us at Arsenal. So I don't know what time he'll be on my show, but he will be on the show as well. I've got the man himself, Malcolm Moan, as well. He'll be on my show as well at 9 o'clock. If you are new to the channel, please do hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and if you are watching this pre-recorded as well, please do put your comments on your score prediction as well. It's been a pleasure, people, and as well to the Liverpool fans out there, stop being salty, because I've had enough of you lot, because I'm still waiting for half of you Liverpool fans to message me back, and you still haven't. So, but people, like I said, 9 o'clock we're back. If you are going to Highbury, not Highbury, I say Highbury for Emirates. Emirates Stadium on Sunday. I'll be there. So if you can, meet me, DM me on Twitter or whatever. Make sure you follow everyone's Instagram post. I think the links as well, Chris, Max, and Simon. Simon, you're not on Twitter, are you, Simon? You're on Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram.
Door. I do have a YouTube channel that has mostly old sports audio, including has some real old Forest stuff that I taped off the shortwave radio when I was a kid. Some of the old hits might actually.
Where is he gone now?
No, I'm there.
Oh, he's gone.
There's actually a Forest Liverpool game from 1980 that I taped off the radio that you can hear.
Did you?
Chris Denny.
That's brilliant.
Some of the old heads might like it.
Send me the link, Chris. And
I will, absolutely.
No, it's quicker. No, you know what? If you put it on Twitter, and I'll retweet it. Yeah?
Good deal. Hey, thanks for having me on. Good meeting you guys.
No worries, my friend. Like I said, people, thank you everyone for taking the time.
Great to meet you, chaps.
Thank you for your time. Like I said, people, if you are new to the channel, please do hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Peace and love. Up the Forest.
Peace and love.
Up the Forest.
Up the red.